Are y'all ready? College block, college block, college block network. The 50 block connection. College block, college block, college block network. The 50 block connection.
Hello, once again, I'd like to thank everybody for watching the Media Monsters television show. This particular show is an edition which is called College Block. As you know, I have several shows that I produce, throughout my television production. And this particular one deals with education, community events, and also events abroad. You know what I'm saying? Covering anywhere from New York to other regions of the United States. So pretty much this forum usually has a lot of key components that our viewers always love to see. And once again, I always like to thank everyone for supporting me, for watching my television forums and supporting me in the community. Today's show is very special, okay, because as of right now, in our current state in New York, as well as in the United States, people are fighting to keep their jobs, people are fighting to get jobs, and also people are fighting to move up, within their corporations or companies that they've been working for over the years. So as of right now, I have a very special guest. She's very passionate about her job, and she has a lot of good views and good information that she wants to bring to the table on the show today. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my guest today, Ms. Pamela Williams.
Hi.
Okay. And Ms. Pamela Williams is a customer representative at Verizon. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Right. Well, looking at your numbers as far as the amount of years, you've been there for quite some time, like at least over 20 years?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, what actually got you into working for Verizon? How did this start? Let's start from the beginning, because anyone that's been at a job for over 20 years, you have to have something that you love about your job. Well, maybe.
Well, to be honest with you, I spent some time after I came out of high school. I went into the military. I was in the Marine Corps for about 6 years.
Okay.
I came back to New York, not really a plan, but I needed a job. So I worked for the Phoenix House Foundation, their Step 1 program for teenagers, for about 2 years. And one day I was just thumbing through the Sunday paper, and there was an ad for, at that time, was New York Telephone.
Okay.
And so they said, send in the postcard with your information, so I did it.
Right.
Luckily enough, I was called. I went down at that time to 1095 Avenue of Americas to apply for the job and get interviewed. I always knew, certain jobs, phone company, Con Edison, those are good jobs, good benefits. Right. You try to get employed there. So interview went well. We spent a lot of time talking about my time in the military and the Marine Corps. Right. Back at that time when there weren't women really in the military, and women didn't go to combat-orientated situations. So I got hired. I've been doing this job as a representative for Verizon for about 23 years. 23. I couldn't give you a better company to work for. The benefits are outrageous. They take good care of their employees, and this is why we're fighting to keep our positions and our jobs with Verizon right now.
Right, right. So for our viewers that aren't familiar with the layoffs from Verizon and the transition that's been happening within the last, I guess maybe 3, 4, 5 years. Let's educate our viewers on what's been going on at Verizon, and then we'll get into why you're here particularly.
Well, currently, right now, we're in contract negotiations with Verizon. I think a lot of people are aware that back in August,
Okay.
the beginning of August, we were out on the picket lines on strike for approximately 2 weeks. We weren't on strike for a contract. That's what a lot of people believe. We
Okay.
were actually on strike because we wanted the company to come to the table and negotiate fairly with us.
Right.
All right.
Understandable.
So come to the table in good faith. We'll negotiate and figure out what's going to be best for the company and the employees. So we stayed out for about 2 weeks. We did come to an agreement that
Yes.
they would negotiate fairly with us, and we would come back to work, and we would do the job under the old contract until such time as we reached an agreement on a new contract. So that's what's going on right now. We don't have a current contract, but we are employed. We're getting a paycheck, and we're working under the old contract currently.
Right, right. Now, do you think it was like for other people that are working for other corporations, like sometimes people don't want to like shake things up. They don't want to do the strike. They feel that, just to keep quiet and basically not really ruffle anybody's feathers. What would you say to other people that are out here in the world that feel that they should basically have a better situation with the companies that they're working for? Should they fight, or should they, not ruffle any feathers? How do you feel about that? What advice would you give?
Well, I think this is a great country, America, we live in. And the reason being is we have the ability to lift our voices, where in other countries
Right.
you cannot lift your voice. And you cannot speak to things that you feel are unfair. So absolutely, I think you should fight. You don't always win. You have to compromise. But it's always worth lifting your voice and being heard.
Right.
You understand? And for me, that's the importance of belonging to a union. Verizon is a closed shop. We belong to the Communication Workers of America.
Okay.
And we have lots and lots of members. And I mean, the first year that I got employed at Verizon was 1989. I wasn't there 6 months, and we were on the picket line for 4.5 months.
Right.
It made sense. We have a great medical, great educational benefits. So yes, you should definitely be willing to stand up and fight. If you don't, everybody's quiet, then things just tend to go along by the wayside, and you're never heard.
Right.
And then you're just willing to accept whatever comes your way.
Yes, this is true. This is true. Now, there's an old saying, for my viewers out there, there's an old saying. You have to stand for something or
Right.
fall for anything.
Absolutely.
Right. So when we say fight, we don't mean physical. We don't mean getting into brawls with the police.
Absolutely
What
not.
what we mean is basically to stand up for your rights, stand up for your human rights, because at the end of the day, we have families to feed, we have people to take care of, and I'm sure the people that are high up, they don't lose as much as the people on the lower end. So our
Absolutely.
fight is definitely a lot different from the higher ups fight. You know what I mean? Because they're
Absolutely.
pretty much set. So let's talk about because you've been there for 23 years in Verizon, and I'm sure at some point you wanted to, and as right now, you wanted to move up as far as you felt that you were ready to take on more responsibilities. You also probably felt that you were well educated within the company. As far as a corporation, you knew a lot of information. So let's talk about your venture as far as what gave you the idea in order to try to move up within the corporation.
Well, I'm a union person.
Okay.
I'm a union person through and through. So I would say approximately 18 years ago, I ran for union steward.
Really? Okay.
And back then, we were in a building on 242nd and White Plains Road.
Okay.
And I had 2 mentors. One's name was Paula Lopez, who is currently the executive vice president of CWA 1105, who is retiring.
Yes.
And the other one was Patricia Egan. And those were my mentors when I became a union steward. They taught me how to represent my brothers and sisters, to ensure to the best of my ability that they would stay employed, they'd be
Yes.
able to feed their children, that they weren't taken advantage of at work.
Right.
this became a passion for me. For some reason, it was natural. I was great at it. It just came natural. I loved it. I enjoyed it, even though it required my personal time at home.
This is true.
You know, I really didn't have a personal life. My phone could ring any time of night, but I'm always available.
Yes.
You know, to my brothers and sisters at Verizon. I've been doing that for at least 18 years. I would somewhere between 15 and 18 years. And that's just dealing with the members in my particular location. Like, since then, our office has closed and we're now in Westchester County at the Valhalla office.
Yes.
And we've been there for about 5 years. I continue to represent the membership, but I feel like I can do more.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
so
And you should feel like that. Yes.
because of the membership at Valhalla, their request was that myself, and I have a partner, unfortunately, was unable to be here because she has to work.
Okay.
She couldn't get the day off. Her name is Tania Eagleton. She also works for Verizon. She's a representative, and she's been doing the job for about 12 years.
Yes.
Tania has been a steward for about 9. I kind of raised her.
Yes.
In as far as the union and
show her the ropes
and how to represent. And the easiest way for me to tell anybody what we do as union stewards is to say, I'm your legal aid.
Right.
Okay, I'm your legal aid, and I'm there to look out for your interests and do what's going to be best for you. And hopefully that means you keep your job and you stay employed. Okay, so some members came to the two of us and asked us if we would run. Now, this is kind of unprecedented because we're both stewards.
Right.
And we would be running against our current business agent,
Right.
Maureen Sidnor. And it's not really looked on favorably.
Okay, I can understand. Right.
Okay, because we're kind of, you know, for some people would say we're being disloyal.
Right.
What I want the members to understand is that any executive board position in our local 1105, be it president, vice president,
Yes.
business agent, treasurer, secretary, these are all electable positions. Although over the years, for as long as I can remember, since I've been a member of 1105, they have been appointed positions. Reason being, no one runs against,
Right. No one's challenged. Okay.
the current board.
Right.
It's 2011, and Tania and I are challenging.
Right.
Honestly speaking, the biggest reason I can say the two of us is doing it is because it's time for someone to be in the position that currently knows the job.
Right.
As I said in the beginning, I started working for Verizon in '89. We were New York Telephone. We have been New York Telephone. We have been 9X, Bell Atlantic, and now we're Verizon. So the job has changed. We are currently representatives, so we're the ones that when you pick up the phone and something's wrong with your bill, we're the ones you speak to. But no longer are you talking to me about you want to receive phone calls or you want to receive collect calls. You're now talking to me about television service, internet service, all kind of entertainment services.
Right.
You name it, Verizon is doing it. So the job has like quadrupled in its responsibility.
Right.
Tania and I believe that there should be someone down at a local 1105 that can speak to the job and its stresses today. Not reach back in our memory bank for 10, 15 years ago of what it was like, but what it is like today and what our brothers and sisters go through on a daily basis.
Right.
You know, as I said, Verizon is a great company to work for. Being a representative is probably the most stressful job in the company because you are the front line for the company. You're the first person the customer talks to and the last person. If the technician doesn't show up, they scream at you. Not the technician, because they don't have the ability to talk to him.
Right. I think there's a talent for dealing with customer service issues. There's definitely a talent for that. You know what I mean? It's a certain acquired patience that you have to have, a certain level of caringness, and you have to be informative. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, and Verizon has very, very high standards when it comes to their representatives and the type of behaviors that they will accept and won't accept.
Right.
So it's by no means a walk in the park. You do have to stay on your P's and Q's, and it's a people person job.
Yes.
Although there are those of us that are in the job that may not be people, orientated, but. That's basically what it is. The standards are very high. They will not accept any kind of disrespect to the customers.
Yes.
Or, that you're dealing with. So it is very stressful, and it's a lot to remember because we're offering a lot, which is new for a lot of us, especially those of us that's been there over 20 years, because
Right.
now it's more than just phone service we're talking about.
Right.
So the biggest reason Tania and I are running is because we need a current voice.
Yes.
A
yes.
current voice, and a little diversity at the local wouldn't hurt either.
Right. Right. Well, I don't know about our viewers out there, but Ms. Williams seems very, very educated in the Verizon Corporation, and she seems very passionate. So you got my vote.
That's great.
I don't know if my vote counts, but you got my vote. So let's walk our viewers and out there in TV land and your supporters. Let's walk them through the process of what you had to do or what you're doing right now in order to run for this new position.
Okay, well, the first thing that we had to do is we had to have petitions signed. Because we were running for the business agent position, and there are two in the Northern Division where we are. And we decided to run for that position, which is held currently by Maureen Sidnor and Phil Tobin. I'm not too well versed on Mr. Tobin because I believe he came from a different division.
Okay.
We've been doing some reorging in the local because of the amount of members we have now.
Yes.
Okay, so what we had to do was each of us had to have 100 signatures on this petition
Yes.
in order to be certified to go on the ballot. Once we got our signatures, then we had to forward that to the chairman of the election board, which would be Ricky Morrison for 1105.
Okay.
All right, so Tania and I, we got our signatures. We made sure we came in well over 100
Right.
because they're going to go through those names and they're going to check to make sure that these are members in good standing,
Right.
that we didn't have some other people sign that don't belong.
It's going to be thoroughly checked.
Absolutely. So
Okay.
we finally got our call yesterday evening from Mr. Morrison saying that we were certified and that there would be 4 people running for 2 business agent positions, which
Okay.
would be myself and Tania Eagleton and Phil Tobin and Maureen Sidnor. So that's taken care of. We're on the ballot. Now what we need to do is get out to the membership who we are, what we stand for,
Right.
and why we feel that we would be a good addition and why we should be the business agents that represent Northern Division. Tania and myself are in a precarious situation only because, as I said, we are representatives and we are doing the job on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
I work from 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. Tania works from 12 to 8. And she works Saturday, so she has a day off during the week. So in order for Tania and I to get out to the membership and let them know that we're running and what we stand for, we would have to take our personal time, days off, in order to do that. Maureen and Phil have a little bit of an advantage because they're in the business agent position.
Right.
So they move around to these offices already. They know the people in these offices, so they're already there. They may have a following. But we are secure and sure that we are doing this for the right reasons. We're both very passionate, and that we would be an asset to 1105 in the business agent position. So we're going to make this happen the best way we can. We haven't been given a date as to exactly when the election is going to be, but it is going to be a mail-in ballot. So it'll be mailed to all the members in the Northern Division, and then they'll mail the ballot back, and they'll take account from there, and we'll figure out how this ends up, whether Tania and I are going to be able to move forward.
Right. Well, just listening to you, like I said, once again, it seems that you're very, very passionate about what you're doing. To our viewers out there, a lot of times, when people are faced with a challenge of maybe running for an election, sometimes, the opposing situation can seem threatening. But just listening to you, there's nothing threatening about what you're doing. There's nothing malice about what you're doing. It seems to me like you're a very passionate, dedicated employee for a company that wants to see the company's growth, that wants to see the company prosper, and that wants to help motivate other employees. So to our viewers out there, listening to Ms. Williams, I would hope that you would support her mission and moving forth with this, because everything that you just said, I'm overwhelmed. I want to work for Verizon now.
Well, again, it's a good company, and I hope that the membership, especially in the Northern Division where Tania and I are running, will not be fearful. Change is good. Yes. We all, it's easy to just let things go along as has been, and right. We can sit back and let our executive board continue to appoint people to positions for us if that's what you choose to do. But this is an electable position, and we should be taking advantage of this every 3 years as it comes up for election, whether it's myself and Tania or it's someone else. When you have an election, it's good. It keeps everybody on their toes. It keeps everybody from being complacent. Yes. As human beings, we all have that ability. If we've been in a position long enough, we start to feel a little complacent.
Yes, we do.
And start to feel like we are the end all to be all.
Yes.
And there's no room for growth.
Right.
You understand? So we want, to challenge people, to do better and
yes.
be better, and to make
produce.
this local
right.
much better than what it is. We have a lot of new employees that really are not aware of what it means to be in a union, what it
yes.
means to be part of the union, the advantages. And Tania and I have that ability to go from building to building and to educate our members right. and to help them get involved in this process, not to be so dependent on your local union steward or business agent, but help them represent you. Help me represent you. When you
right.
go into an office with management, you need to know, is this leading to disciplinary action? You need to take notes just for your own peace of mind.
Right.
It's okay that Pam's there to take notes for you, but you need to have your own. Pam is not 100%. You understand? What if I miss something? Two heads are better than one.
Right.
We just want to educate everybody and get everybody involved in this process and mobilize along with the rest of the country as far as keeping good jobs here in America. And part of that is having strong unions and strong leadership. This is not about personal and personalities. That's not what this is about. This
right.
is about getting this movement together. You see our brothers and sisters down on Wall Street, even though they don't work for Verizon, they're still brothers and sisters to me
right.
because they're there because of the same reason that I'm here today.
Right.
I
right.
want to do what's best for Americans
right.
in the job market.
Right, right. And for our viewers out there, this is a new term. Brothers and sisters means everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
White, black, Chinese,
Absolutely.
Spanish. Brothers and sisters. So people, let's not be so close-minded. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm overwhelmed. You know what I mean? This is someone that's passionate, very passionate, and she seems like she has the ability to be a great asset to her position. So all I can say is I hope that everyone that watches this particular show, supports Miss Williams in any way that they can. You know what I mean? Along her endeavors.
Yeah, I would agree. I also would like the members to know that they can feel free to ask Tania and I anything
okay.
that comes to mind. Anything. We are open to any questions. We will answer them. We'll do our best. Again, as I said, we're currently out of the Valhalla office, which is at 500 Summit Lake Drive. But we will be open and visiting at different offices where the membership is, and take time out to get to know us, talk to us, ask us, tell us what your concerns are, because everybody should have a voice. from the newest hired rep to the rep that's been there 40 years.
Right.
Everybody should have a voice. We all
Right.
make the same amount of money. We're all doing the same job. So everybody's opinions and thoughts are important to myself as well as Tania, and I want them to feel free to contact us at any time.
Right. Now, so that way, once people view this, that way they can actually maybe reach out to you. Do you have an email address where your supporters or people that have questions or anything regarding this particular interview, they can reach out to you?
Well, they can reach out to me on Yahoo.
Okay.
The email address would be Pam, P-A-M, the letter B, number 4, U, Y-O-U-U, at yahoo.com. Pam before you at yahoo.com. And also, if you're a representative, you know how to get a hold of me at the Valhalla office. Pick up the phone, reach out.
Right.
Tania and I are there. You know, we're going to try to make our rounds to the other offices to talk to you. But feel free. You can call up to the office. We're both union stewards, so it's not like our phone numbers are secret. They're easy to get. You can feel free to call us, and we'll help you in any way we can.
Right, right. Well, not going off the topic too much, you know, it definitely seems like you're a very strong-rooted black woman. I just want you to give a general message to our young black women and just women in general when it comes to challenges and diversity. Just give them a little inspiration, you know what I mean, as far as some good information that they can use as far as to help them grow.
Well, what I would say is stand firm. Your convictions. No matter what. There have been times that I felt like I was all alone in this fight, you know, especially being an African American woman in the union. I felt alone. But I stood by my convictions even when it wasn't the popular thing to do.
Wonderful.
Okay? And at the end of the day, whether or not I'm liked personally is not important. Whether I'm respected is important.
Yes.
And if they can say nothing else about me, they say, we respect her.
Yes.
We respect her. I mean, I could have taken some, you know, shortcuts to get where I want to be, and I could be appointed to business agent, you know, but I decided that I would let my work speak for itself, and I would let the people speak for me. So don't be afraid to be the lone voice in the crowd. Stand up. Because I stood firm, and it wasn't easy. There were many days that I thought I would waver, but I was surprised how many people were behind me saying, no, you keep going. You keep standing firm. We're in agreement with you. We're behind you. So just stay true to oneself.
Right.
Don't worry about what's popular and what the masses are doing. Stay true to oneself.
Right. Okay, wonderful. Because actually, with situations like this, the individual becomes the voice. For those people that aren't willing to speak up, for those people that don't have the courage or don't feel that they're in a position to voice their opinion, you become that voice. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that are cheering you on. There's a lot of people that do respect what you're doing.
Yeah,
I'm sure of that.
I have quite a few people that are cheering me on. I have those that are opposing me too, and that goes along with the territory.
Yes.
That goes along with the territory, and I'm okay with that because a nice debate is good every now and then. We don't always have to see eye to eye, and I'm okay being opposed. Okay, but I just want to be opposed for the issues.
Okay.
Not for the personal. Okay, because I am an African American woman, and I'm always going to be that.
That's right.
You know, that's never going to change. But I'm here to represent everybody. I don't care, blue, green, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You're my brother, you're my sister, and I'm going to do the best for you no matter what.
Right, right.
Because I would hope someone would do the same for me.
Yes, yes.
If I needed the help. So that's what I'm here for. That's what Tania's here for. You know, as I said, I kind of raised her, so our thought process is the same. We spend most of our time together. She's like my sister now. This is like family. So we think alike, and we are going to make some good changes in 1105.
This is great. This is great. So I'm gonna do this a little different. Instead of saying I'm gonna wish you luck, I'm gonna say congratulations.
Thank you.
On your new position.
Thank you so much.
And hopefully I can have you back on the show again, so that way you can let me know how progress has come along. And
Absolutely.
whether you win, lose, draw, I still want you back on the show, because I want to hear the adversities and things that you went through, you know what I'm saying, and how, you know, because a lot of times it's still development, whether you win, lose, or draw. So I need to know what happened after this election.
Absolutely,
So
but
I want
Tania
you
and
back
I
on the
already
show.
said we've already won. We've already won because we've done something that no one has done in over 20 years. We're seeing to it that there's an election in our local. So we've won. Whether we end up business agents or not, we have showed the membership that, listen, this is a process and everybody needs to get involved, and you just don't have to sit back and be told who's going to do what.
Right.
You pick your president, you pick your elected officials in the union as well.
Okay. So once again, to everybody out there in TV land, to all my supporters, all Miss Williams supporters, like I said, once again, it's always important. Get out there and vote, get involved, and stay tuned for the next show.
Thank
Peace.
you.